Welcome back to Supercoach Masters. I am Jordy, and alongside me is the Supercoach Jackal, Matt Seeves.
Matty Seeves, the Supercoach Jackal, alongside me is Jordy. And today, George, did you know Josh Shinnie's still in a lot of teams and he hasn't even played a game yet?
You just say that because you saw Josh in my team. I don't care, Matty. I don't.
No, I wasn't trying to do it. I just had no random thing, and that was the top of the thing.
All right, okay, guys.
forward,
If
George.
you're new here, like and subscribe. We have the big team reveal of me. I look forward to the incoming criticism, and I want to bathe and soak in it because I don't care, because this is the best team you're ever going to fucking see. Matty.
Yes, George. We are going to go.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, yes. You were going to tell me
The 5 people I wanted in my team, if I had every bit of coin
available to you.
All right, so number 5 for me, guys, that I really wanted is DP.
Oof,
and it's not deep penetration, it's Darcy Parish.
All right, George, you're getting... Okay,
Darcy Parish.
Yeah, he's one of mine guys too, yep.
Yeah, so number 5 for him, it was either him or Merritt. I like both of them pretty equally. Darcy Parish, just because of the contract year. I would love to have him in there, but... he hasn't been invited to the party.
He is a great team. He was in one of the top 5 players that I want to squeeze in, and I still think I might if I find that money for Tom Green. But Darcy Parish, doesn't he have a nice sexy run for the first few games? He looked pretty good in the
he
game.
killed it. He looked really good, getting all the CBAs, sucking them all up. Merritt only had about 40% or so CBAs, but he didn't play the full game, guys. So don't worry about Merritt's role. He's 100% going to be a pure CBA midfielder only. All right, number 4. I could not fit into my team. Miss him dearly, miss him sorely. Very handsome man. Stephen Canelio.
Yeah, he's one of mine too, Jules. We're on the same page, aren't we? Missing Canelio.
Yeah, so Steve Canelio, he's obviously going to be top 6. I can see why he's a lock in so many teams, but there's just so much value in the forward line, so many mid-prices in the forward line, there's so many good rookies in the forward line as well.
Agreed.
And for 557k, guys, he's just about 40 or 60k off an absolute in and out premium midfielder. I couldn't do it. But I do want to be in my team if I had the coin. Number 3.
Agreed. Yeah.
Josh Dacos.
Josh, you want Joshy Dacos?
Not Josh.
Nick.
Both our
They're
cousins.
both good.
They're
both our cousins. They're both good. But Nick. How could you fucking not have Nick?
Well,
you need to have a good reason. I bet you it's got to do with money related.
It's money related. I could only fit one of the type of players I wanted in my back line because I don't want to spend any money in the back line because it makes me physically ill when I spend money in the back line. So I only went with the one premium in the back line. That's a bit of a spoil. We'll get to that in a minute. And it was either Josh Dacos or this guy. I went with this guy because they're a proven star. Nick fucking Dacos. Nick Dacos.
Get it right, Jules.
I don't know. He did average over 100 the last half of the year, but he only scored over 100, I think, 2 times.
My thing about Nick Dacos is people are now going to look to tag him because they have tagged him.
I know. And that's
the only downfall.
He doesn't handle it very well at all.
No, well, that's his first year, but like, if you know our boy, he's bulked up and
he's bulked up, but I still think
I think he's ready for a big year.
He could be. He could be also ready for a 90-95, and I'd rather get other options where I think...
like last year, like knowing Nick, he loved the uncontested touches. Mm-hmm. Like he would run, give me the ball. Mm-hmm. He's not doing that this year. If you see, he's actually running, he's getting his own ball. Like he's going to be a bull.
He's going to need to get his own ball.
He's going to be a bull.
I don't hate the Nick Dacos pick, Matty, but... I just like this other guy better. No, if I had another premium in the back line, he'd be the one.
All right, George, next one.
Now, number 2, my man, Took Miller.
It's pretty sad. We're pretty much on the board. The same.
Yeah, I think we've had almost the same.
There's about 3 people now that I wanted in my team that are not in. Is it obviously the obvious is what I explained to the last video? He's just injured, and hopefully we can.
Tookie, all the best, mate. Please send us another video of you feeling good, running, doing laps, like
pumping guns and kicking goals.
Because look, Hammy's concerned me. I know it's just a small one, but you're so fit, you're so strong, you're so just muscular. It's just to see that Hammy just not at 100%.
I think we're
going for an Uber Premium. It worries me a bit, Took. I'm a bit scared.
Yeah.
That's why you're still number 2, though, on my want to speak to again list. Call me. Number 1 is Tom Stewart.
Tommy Stewart.
Yeah. Yeah,
for the right reasons, Jules. Number 1.
The best buy number one. His role, I guess Hawthorn, was amazing. He was always the deepest, so every kick he done was always meters gained. It was always rebounding 50. He had intercept marks. He's now been promoted to the vice captaincy.
He's going to go berserk.
He looks amazing. Him and Dacos are the two that I want in the back line if I had the money. But as I said, I can't bring myself to spend the money.
He's undervalued, and he is got the best buy, which is another reason why. So Tom Stewart for me in the last one and my last video team reveal, he was my number one every time that I couldn't fit him in. I finally had played around with some cash and fit him in. George, I think you need him.
I might, but I will see how things go. Now, guys, let's get into
it. I think we're going to go to Jordy. If we are talking about Tom Stewart and Dacos, not in your defence.
Now, guys, I hope you haven't had dinner recently because what you're about to see might make you vomit.
Jordy, let's put it up straight in your defence.
All right, look at this, guys. Now,
this is what we're looking at. And for the Spotify boys, we're reading out. Jordy's defence is Ridley, number 1. Yo, number 2. Jack Bowes, number 3. Gibney, number 4. Wilmot, number 5. And Constable, number 6 with Chesser and Cohen. Now, Jordy, cumulatively, you're not even spending more than 1.2 million in the back line.
Fuck yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money you've got somewhere else.
That's good because I know Ridley, if he looked like he was playing, the guys who watched the Bombers and the Gold Coast, he had the lion's share of the kick-ins. He had over 50% of the kick-ins, which is going to elevate his floor and ceiling. He had the intercept role. Didn't look like to be playing too closely on any man. If I had to choose between Ridley and Dacos, I'm choosing Ridley because he's shown he can be 600,000 and I feel safer. Same buy, so that's not really an issue. Ridley, new role, new coach. I think he can get back to the way he was, doing the kickouts, and I like him.
Okay, George, I hate it. I'm disgusted in this because this is a completely opposite of what I did.
Yes, because you were very wrong.
No, I think you're very wrong. We're not going to call people wrong because
we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We don't want to.
I disagree with what you're saying, Matty.
I disagree with what you're saying
because I can spend my money in better places.
Let me get my point on. Look, you've got about 3 West Coast players there. All they need is one shit game and you fucking got...
Well, one's on the bench, so it doesn't matter.
All right, cool, whatever. All right.
Yo's going to have a shit game and get dropped, is he? No, so it's just one person you're talking about Gibney.
Okay, let's talk about Yo as a whole. I like him, obviously. Everyone's liking him. Everyone's going to get him in. Hopefully his body stays in fit. If he doesn't, which is proven, he's only played, 6 games over the last 2 years. Bit of a risk there. But yes, he played well. His first hit out was good. Things are good. Jack Bowes, his positioning, I like him as well. But I'm just saying, when you've got no stability really besides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rookies out of the 8.
Absolute money-making backline, that is if I've ever seen it. Now, West Coast have North Melbourne round 1, so I'm not scared of any of these guys getting dropped. Number 2, then they have GWS. Not scared of them, and then they've already started making money. Now, if that ever changes, I like Lockie Jones in the backline as a cheap defender, 2K. I saw the intra-club match. He was intercepting everything. He looked back to his best. So there are other options to go sideways. I'm happy with Wilmot. I'm happy Charlie Constable, if he gets the game round 1, that his role is very Supercoach friendly.
George, can you read out to me who was out and who came in this defence from last time you revealed?
Yes, I can. Out was Dacos, obviously. Wow. McKenna.
Yep, McKenna. Tell me why McKenna's out. Just because
I watched the preseason game and he looked pretty shite. His run was good, but his kick...
He's kicking in the fish.
He just ran in. He kicked one inside 50, he was out on the floor.
He's used to the Gaelic football, but he'll get used to the footy again.
Hopefully.
So,
Jones is out.
Yep.
Liam
Caulfield.
Jones. Caulfield, because I think he still lacks a bit of touch. Yep. But if he's getting game round 1, he's another option to consider. Hamling, because I don't think he's going to be the best 1 or 2 defender.
Did he play? I haven't seen.
Maybe in the
second half, okay.
But yeah, and in comes Yo, Cowan, Constable, Ridley. So I didn't have a very strong defence last time, Matty. The only person who really ran over any note is kind of Dacos, so and I got a Yo in for him.
And you're in,
and in was Ridley. So this is pretty much the same structure as last time.
I know, yeah, and you had a good... Okay, so look, Jordy's still sticking to his big guns, hasn't really swayed his way of the structure from the last time we saw it. Yeah, look, to me personally, Ridley can be easily Dacos, and I think that's what you should do. Yo's fine. Bowes, okay. I explained in my last one that I would probably get Bowes. Gibney, I need to see him before I spend $171,000 against an actual AFL team, not just hype. Wilmot, Constable, Chester, Cohen, all so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-year players are in my teams, and they're all the rookies. And the Ridley, Bowes, and Gibney. Hopefully they do exactly what you want them to do, George, and make you a lot of cash.
Oh yeah.
But with this, because in my mind I've had an extra two players that are worth 600,000. I've got an extra Doherty and Tom Stewart.
Yeah.
So because Dacos can take out Ridley. But let's check out. What do you want to show me next?
Let's go. I'm going to tell you the ins and outs of my forward line. So out was Tassis, King, Canelio, and Oscar Allen. In comes Davey, McAndrew, Jason Horne-Francis, and Bruin.
George, talk to me about your Horne-Francis.
So for the team now in front of it for Spotify, it's Dunkley, Rosie, Taranto, Horne-Francis, Tanner Bruin, McLean, all on field. Shittest person there is McLean. Second shittest is Tanner Bruin. And on the bench, you got McAndrew, who's touted to have a round one debut with Hickey out, and Alan Davey. Now,
I like it, George. I like Dunkley, I like Rose, I like Taranto, the three boys. Out of this, there's about 5 boys that I have in my team. Even your bench is the same as mine. The only person that sticks out like a sore thumb.
only because you have some kind of weird, the opposite of obsession, hatred with Horne-Francis because he left North Melbourne. Get the fuck over it. He's in their best midfield. He's in Port Adelaide's best starting three. They want him in CBAs. He looked good against a good West Coast outfit.
Dropped it up a lot.
I've seen footage. I watched that game. He kicked.
I was there too.
He laced them right up. He's a great kick. He's a hard ball. He's a fucking great player, and he could easily be a Zeeble. So I'm going to use that position.
People might question, where's Oscar Allen for you, George?
I love Oscar Allen, but I just needed to have one of either Horne-Francis or Zeeble. Or Oscar Allen. Say Horne-Francis plays absolute shit next Pracky match, and Zeeble plays absolute shit. Horne-Francis goes down to an Oscar Allen easy. Because that position there and the Tanner Bruins, they're both flexible. So Tanner Bruin and Horne-Francis, if they play not the way I want them to play, their role has changed in the second Pracky match, which the most important one. The ones I'm waiting on the wings for them are Zeeble and Allen. So they are also interchangeable, or even down and also up same Canelio.
Price. So could I ask, so you like Tanner Bruin just as much as I did? Talk to me about why.
His role was, I think you said it perfect. So the role, he's there, if he's getting CBAs, if he's getting up there with the Dangerfields and...
he was number 1 at CBA.
Yes, as I said, but it was a Pracky game against Hawthorn, so they just want to get the young guys in.
Yep.
And look, if his role is like that again next week, I think he's a very good pick. Supercoach Master Community, I think he's going to be... It's going to go great buy. If he somehow ends up being a player that can score 80s and 90s.
I said this last game, the last video we had on my team review. He was GWS's forward pocket when he was playing his games, and he had crap numbers because obviously GWS were no good last year.
He wasn't used in the midfield.
Now let me tell you, why would he, just an open up question.
Yeah.
Why would Tanner Bruin as a forward pocket come into a team of Geelong who's now, they got an All-Australian forward pocket in, read them out to me, Jules. You got Close, you've got that Stengel. You've got
Myers.
Now they've got that Ollie Henry off us, who's clearly that's his position too, and he was taking some nice big jumps and screamers in the practice game. I don't know. I think that his only place in this.
I think also Geelong has a really aging midfield, and they want to start getting some games into the younger Geelong.
I just say it's a new team, new role.
It looks good. But it was against Hawthorn. I'm not going to get too aroused, but. Right at this very second, I'm quite aroused about Tanner Bruin.
Oh, look, let's just go back to Dunkley, Rose, Taranto, McLean.
If it eases your hatred, just pretend you're seeing Zeeble instead of a Horn.
10 out of 10 then.
All right, there we go. Now, guys, this is the part where I warned you about. You thought maybe the defence was the part that's going to make you vomit. Wrong. Matty, I think it's time I told them the ins and outs of my ruck. So out was Cameron for Marshall. And out was Grundy for Isava Ratagulia.
So you're going to play...
Now hear me out. Guys.
It's already obvious.
It's here. Hear me out. No, these guys, I'm going to tell them this amazing trick that only fucking I know, and you. Isava Ratagulia. Now, we all know he played good. You're thinking, yeah, okay, Jordy, he might do good. He might do shit. He's a new role, so his roles are not, set in stone. I'm telling you now, with the ruck uncertainty this year, Asava as your R2 is not the worst thing. Hear me out. Now, you can put Asava round 1 as an emergency, right? And if he gets an 80 or a 90 or an 100, leave that Madden on the field, cop his 80 and 90, and you're good for that week. If he does bad, I can rejig some money, swap McAndrew into that position where Madden is, and then upgrade him to a Ruckman, to either like a Grundy or a Darcy or anything like that. But if radically,
who's going to come out for that money?
One of my midfielders, which we will get to.
Yeah.
So, but that's a strategy you can use. You can do some loopholes with Radigalia if you like that. If you see that his numbers in the preseason, he's getting 80s and 90s. I'm happy with 80s in the ruck. We get rookies on the field in either position. Don't be scared to try a rookie position in the ruck. Okay?
I just want to say this, Jules.
Go for it.
Even if he gets a shit number, you've leave Nick Madden alone. Put Nick Madden back into the forward line, swap him for...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. McAndrew. So you can either play McAndrew, which I don't really recommend. I saw his VFL numbers that weren't that encouraging. However, if you think, okay, I got 2 backups. I've got McAndrew and I've got Asava Radaglia that I can do loopholes with. Now, if Asava does bad, okay, all right. So if he does, let's say you think his role is really bad. Okay, it's not the Asava I thought I was getting. That's when you upgrade. That's when you can go back to your ruck strategy. And if you think, okay, his role is good, but he didn't score well, maybe just play McAndrew for that week. So you're covered, and you're definitely covered for round 1. And you can have, it gives you another week to look at it, because you can still use trades up until that team's locked out.
Trades.
Unlimited trades. So you can see what Radaglia gets you.
George, why are you telling these 60 secrets?
I know, but the Supercoach Master community, not many of the people will be doing this. It's a very smart thing you can consider. Maybe not for everyone. I can see why. But if I get Radaglia and he's just playing as a tall defender and he's just doing spoils, he gets about 5 touches and he gets 30 Supercoach. I'm saying, nah, fuck, scrap that. I'm reshuffling my money, which you still can, and you get yourself a Grundy, Lysett,
that's right,
or Darcy.
Let's talk about that, draws now. So that's fine. I think we can appreciate what you're saying regarding your midfielders.
I've got to tell you the ins and outs.
So the ins and outs of the midfield.
Yes. So the ins are, the outs are Took Miller, Tom Mitchell, see you, Tommy, Blakey, and in comes some big inclusions. We've got Baker coming in for that bench, and then we got Tom Green, Petrarca, and Laird coming all in. Check a look at this midfield.
That's a midfield.
Now, you can see why Parrish wasn't invited to this fucking party.
Nah, fair enough, champ. Fair enough. You got Laird, Oliver, Bont, Petrarca, Steele, Green as the top 6 of doom.
Let's go a bit slower for the guys.
Laird, Oliver, Bont, Petrarca, Steele, Green, Hopper, and Ashcroft on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just... So
Phillips, Oscar Baker, and Sin, which, Sin could be anyone. So.
Yeah, that's true. See what we can do there. You just probably had him in your last team and you couldn't be taking him in and out.
The rookie position's up for grabs. I mean, I'd like to find the money for a Philippou, ideally, but there's a lot of money on the bench. So let me walk you through every single... Now, guys, I'm of the opinion that... Unlike Matty, he wants 1 Uber Premium. I want 2 Uber Premiums for the captain, vice captain. I know we're spending a lot of money, but if Oliver fails to fire in his game when he's sub, I am more than happy to put a captain on Laird, and I will breathe easier. Same thing. I know Melbourne and Adelaide have a very good kind of intersecting run where it allows you a lot of vice and captain loopholes. If the worst case scenario, I'll put Bonds, but I don't want to be going into say like a Petrarca or Oliver or just a Oliver.
Captain choices are the difference of how high you get.
And I just want at least 2 super premiums. It can be argued that Bont is one of them because a lot of people like Bont. But my Laird, my Oliver, my Bont, and now Petrarca comes in. I've always had a huge crush on Petrarca, champ, because he plays great. He looks good. He kicked 3 goals and he didn't really play that much midfield forward time. He got those goals from the midfield.
I reckon he'll get about 150 as well.
Now, I like having 1 massive premium point of difference, and I think Petrarca is that POD for me.
Yeah, I even think Laird is as well.
He's up there. He's around 12%. 17.
No, is he?
I think he's gone up now. So
he's gone up since? Okay.
My point of difference is obviously Petrarca. Now, Tom Mitchell has gone out of my team for Tom Green. Easy change, but Right now, Tommy Green has got the run of the red. He's on fire in this preseason. So,
all right, Jules, let's just play some devil's advocate here.
I don't know what you can say bad about this fucking midfield. So
No, I'm not saying no.
devil's advocate. Or what do you?
The devil's advocate. Okay, let's go back to your rucks. Bang, Radigalia gets a 40.
Yep.
Who are you taking out of this star-studded midfield for who to get yourself a Grundy?
So by then, I'll have more data on what Tom Green done in his second practice game. But it's either going to be Green, where I can just put him to a Grundy like that.
Yep.
So Green is gone. I've got 5 premiums still. 5 awesome premiums in my midfielder.
Yep.
Green is now a Grundy. Or I can shuffle some things around and put maybe Petrarca into a Darcy with extra cash to upgrade some rookies.
So ideally, like everyone talks about, D4s and M6s and the importance of these roles. Everyone's got 22 players on the field. And they all accumulate to a total score. Now, ideally, regardless of who you got M4 or R2, whatever, what you're saying is it's either going to be Radigalia and a Petrarca or a Will Phillips and a premium Ruckman on the field.
Well, you can even shuffle around and compare the midfielders to the defenders. You'd be like, okay, let's get Petrarca versus, say, a Doherty with a Phillips on the field for the Doherty or a Chesto on the field. And I'm more than happy
to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's it. So it's just more shuffling.
And obviously, I like watching players that fucking look good. And Petrarca, Bont, Steele, Oliver, Laird, they are the players I want to watch in Supercoach. I'm more than happy with that. If I need to sacrifice one premium midfielder to smooth out the layout, I will. But if Radigalia is 18 touches, intercepting everything that comes inside, what a waste getting a fucking premium Ruckman that we don't even know is going to do good.
Yeah, I know. No,
there we go, guys. What do you think now?
I think it's pretty good, Jules. Like overall, I like it. I know where you're going with the. I feel like there needs to be a Tom Stewart. That's me. Obviously, my team's got 2 more premiums.
Does it need to be a Tom Stewart or needs to be a Dacos?
Well, you've seen my team. So, if I had to pick in order, obviously, Jules, we know we just did our power rankings last week, and Tom Stewart was number 1, Dacos was 3 or 4, whatever. So I think they're both very relevant. I think they're both value because they're both underpriced, but I'm going to say both.
You can't.
If I can't, same price Tom Stewart, but
not same price. So Dacos.
Yeah, probably Dacos.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's a reverse pod. Yeah. If he gets tagged round 1 by one of the Geelong forwards or anything like that, he gets a 60 or 70. I think more 70. I feel pretty good. If I'm going to have a reverse pod, I don't mind it being Fife and Dacos. Yeah. There are worse reverse pods. At his price, 30, 40k away from a Tom Mitchell or a Tom Green, I'd rather be getting these kind of players in.
Yeah, no, understood, Jules. I like the team. I like the
think about it, guys. Just think about it.
It's ballsy. So there's kind of 2 different structures that me and Jordy both showed you.
2 very different structures.
I'm playing a bit on the safe side. Jordy is getting those big, heavy. I think I counted about 10 to 11 premiums versus my 12, 13, depending on if you call Dacos a premium.
I do.
Okay, well then 13.
Do you call Ridley a premium?
Yeah, you would.
Yes, they're the same.
Yeah, you would.
Anything over 500k is a premium.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I like the fact that you've got 2 backups for your captaincies because a captain can win you the game.
Laird and Oliver. That's just exciting knowing that I got both of them.
They can win you the game.
I know that there's a lot of talk about Oliver coming down in cash. Fair enough, he may do it, but if you're still getting me 130s in that process, I got 2 weeks of Oliver getting me 130, 140. If he doesn't, he can easily be traded out before he loses money. Guys, this is where you should get the expensive players, I think, because you get 2 free weeks. I know their price doesn't change until round 3, and then the first and second weeks aren't important, but you can get to 150 and 130, and then maybe, hopefully, another 150.
Just to bring you up. You still got that time to trade out those premiums to ones that are getting players who are going to make money that you didn't have or you didn't even think about having.
And look, in that time, if I'm running a Radigalia and I need to shuffle around some things, I have another 2 weeks to see who's going to be the good Ruckman, who's going to be the best Ruckman in 2023. If Lysa gets 120 and 120, I'm like, I know it's Lysa, but everyone who's got Darcy, Witts, Grundy, all these other people can't do that, as effectively, so to speak. Because if they go, okay, Grundy's getting me 90s or 80s, I can't really get, it's not worth that trade.
That's right.
So I like the structure.
I like it, George. I like the structure. Obviously with the 35 trades plus the 5 boosts, I don't think we can get It's impossible for anyone to get their team wrong by round 5 when you've got you can pretty much make literally 15 trades by round 5 by using all the, you know what I mean? Like, and to get it correct, even if you're crap or you've missed the boat, there's always ways to catch up. But not that trades are valuable, but there's just so many of them that we can afford to do these risks when players like
especially
us,
in the rough.
Players like us, we've been playing for over 10, 12 years.
This is fair to say, this is the first year we're actually going to try to go for overall, because we've always tried to go for league and we've always ended up with really good results. Now we're going to branch out. We're going to go to overall because, you know, there's been so many times when we've just cop zeros because we're saving trades for finals when we've already made the finals quite comfortably. So this is a time where we're going to actually go for overall. And I think we have definitely got the right strategy, because even if we use some of those trades later on, we could have been up there so much more. But this is going to be a good year. It's going to be a fun year. And this is going to be definitely a fun year to do with the rucks, because the rucks are just up in the air and I love it because it's always been so easy. Now it makes the smart people think of strategies.
I'm thinking now, there's no Hickey. Gold Coast, Jared Witts, round 1 against Sydney.
Yeah, but it is...
Against Sydney. And if we got Mac Andrews making some debuts...
yeah, but Layhams could be good by round 1. Just saying. I think Witts will fucking destroy them. Oh, then he's got Essendon.
Wow.
Guys,
Witts. I think we need a recall on Witts and that bye round draws.
Well, let's keep in mind the reason why we don't have Witts. He's got Geelong round 3.
Why don't we have Jared Witts, Chad? Jared Witts is looking mighty fine.
He is 600k.
Let's just see round 4, Jules. Does it get any worse than that, Ron Marshall?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
If it's Melbourne round 5, then we just pull the plug. No, it's got Darcy.
He's got Sean. Okay, fair enough.
All right. So after everyone brings him in after round 3, then he's going
to drop and then we'll get him in after.
All right. We do think Witts is a good pick, guys. Just not saying that. However, for me personally, he's only like in 10 or 12 years, 10 years maybe, he's only averaged over 100 once. So you're getting at his absolute peak price.
We are talking about team reviews and we just don't care. We just talk about everything.
We talk about whatever we want. Because Supercoach and everyone's hungry and for some fucking info. Anyway, guys, that is it. We'll catch you on the next one. That was a very fun one. I would love to hear your thoughts on my team. I'd love to hear if you're adapting a similar approach. I'd love to hear if you spilt all your fucking dinner all over the street.
But he only loves to hear it if it's positive. If it's negative, Jaws, what do you want to tell him?
No, if it's negative, I really don't mind, because I'm probably a better Supercoach player than you.
That's the Jordy.
Unless it's like the Supercoach Godfather company, he's a better Supercoach player than me. So
okay. Anyway, let's. All right, but all on that, Jaws. What's next?
We're gonna fucking find out. We'll see, guys. Guys, if you're on Spotify, give us a follow. If you're on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you're on the other one, come over to each and help us out. Give us a subscribe, because we're giving you some good fucking shit, and we're making you Monday or Tuesday arvos good whatever day we drop this.
Make you laugh, make you happy, except the guy that doesn't like you, you minked muppet. That's what he called Jordy.
He called me an muppet.
Anyway, love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. I think it's time to shut the camera off. We've been talking for way too long.
I love you more.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.